Hi, a new question based on poetry. The question is discuss the ways in which women poets manifest their thoughts in the collection of your poetry. So, how the women poets in your collection, how they have manifested their thoughts through poetry. What kind of thoughts and how they have manifested the thoughts through poetry. So basically, it's the women through their poetry. You find they talk against violence, especially violence against them, and also about nature, and also about like sometimes through poetry they just talk about themselves and love, their life in front of love. So it's like manifesting thoughts through poetry in a way it became a way of escaping, and because we find women suffer from violence or women were exploited, so manifesting their thoughts through poetry, that was a way of escaping from violence or exploitation. Or else you can say the poetry empowers women. As we know, a poem is a source of power. So you can talk about how poetry empower women. And we know literature it's an artistic genre in which women know, like everybody can share their experience. So here we can talk about how women could share their experience through poetry. So the question once again, it's about discuss the ways in which women poets manifest their thoughts in the collection of poems in the collection of your poetry. So in our collection we find some female poets, especially we have Maya Angelou, and I thought of taking Maya Angelou and Kamala Das, the Indian poet. Maya Angelou, the African poet, and Kamala Das, the Indian poet. So, how Maya Angelou? So you can take have your own description, own introduction, where you can introduce about women poets and how they could escape or how they could manifest, or what were the common issues discussed by the women poets in general. Then you can talk about, you can take the separate like Maya Angelou, then write about her poem and how she manifested her thoughts through her poem, the poem Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou, and Kamala Das, the poem Introduction. So you can separately write two different paragraphs for the 2 points. Then first let's take about Maya Angelou's poem A Phenomenal Woman. So you can make a brief introduction on Maya Angelou first, because the question is about how these poets, women poets, manifest their thoughts. So then what they manifested, or what were the basic issues, what were the basic things they talk about in their poetry, that you can talk first. Maya Angelou, a black poet, and she was an activist who spoke against the injustice, especially the black women face, black women especially in America. So she contributes, she made a tradition of poetry. She contributes to a tradition of poems, sharing the struggles she faced. Then her poems were very open, like she wrote openly. You can say she wrote revolutionary. Her poems were fearless, and also basically the poems about the sexual violence or the racial injustice the women face, especially colored women, right? Then you can talk about Phenomenal Woman. You can first make a brief introduction about Maya Angelou and her poetry, and then let's take Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. There, how she manifests her thoughts. She expresses her experience as an empowered, like throughout the poem, she empowers herself. So she seems powerful like a queen. You can give examples from the poem. and her energy that comes from her eyes, with the nice metaphors poet described it, and the joyful, carefree manner where the poet could walk nicely. Or how she could charm men, how she could attract men, her confidence with her, finally through the poem you can see that she could gain a nice, unique beauty. She was like going against the social acceptance, because we live in a world where people keep on having stereotypical ideas. People, they are in frames, and they have some of the, especially it's like the powerful countries or the powerful people always inject ideas to the powerless people, or like people, women or the people get restricted in the society. People have fixed beliefs, fixed acceptance, but here Maya Angelou, she wants to go against that frame, beyond the frame, and to develop her own idea with complete confidence. It's just about how the woman confidence can make her unique, because she talks about the women beauty and the stereotypical idea on women beauty, the idea on racism, or the social definition on women beauty. She begins her poem talking about what the idea of a model. Like she says, she repetitively says like she is not a model, because she is not, she doesn't fix to a fashion model. She is not cute, she is not fair, but she develops a nice idea, like it is your confidence that can make you beautiful, that can give you a uniqueness. So through the poem she could inspire all women, because the poem creates, she could create an inclusive vision of womanhood, because a woman is not supposed to adhere to the society's typical view of beauty, and but why men flock around her. It is for her beauty, it is for her unique beauty the men come around her. And she wanted to, she entitled her poem as Phenomenal Woman. So phenomenal means what? It's extraordinary, exceptional. She is extraordinary woman. She is a remarkable woman. So what? I'm remarkable. I'm different. I'm exceptional. So she develops that idea, like the fact that you are a black woman or you are like marginalized in the society. Those are not the issues to make yourself demean. So that's how she went. She went against all these social norms and the social acceptance, and how she tried to develop a new idea. So how she inspired herself and how she inspired all the other women through her poetry. So once again, the question is the ways in which the women poets manifest their thoughts. So how she manifested, you can even use the talk about the use of techniques as well. Maya Angelou's in her poem, she is using alliteration, assonance, similes, metaphors. All those things contribute to the what? The main word in the question is her manifestation, how she manifests. So how, using these techniques, using these words, using these kind of vocabulary, she can manifest. So that you have to nicely explain in your second paragraph. Introduction, second para. Then third paragraph you can come up with another poet, Kamala Das. How Kamala Das, through her poem Introduction, it's an autobiographical poem because she expresses herself. She's confessing through the poem how she presents her exceptional energy, or we can say the poem is in an expressive mode. It's an expressive mode of poetry she is using. So what she tries to do through the poem, she tries to break down the barriers between men and women. And she's throughout the poem you can find that she is fearless. Fearlessly, her fearless feminine sensibility. Through that she manifests her attitude towards love, towards suffering or marriage, pregnancy, different issues she talks about through her poem introduction. Plus that you can find, you can see about her frustration, her disappointment, her courage, her confidence. It's like, it's a story that narrates about every woman. It's not just about Kamala Das. So how she tries to, basically it's how she tries to break down the barriers between men and women. So the question once again, it's about discuss the ways in which women poets manifest their thoughts. So ways, how they manifest. So she manifested these ideas, how? Through these kind of examples, and how nature, how they have used nature, how they have used examples through their manifestation. Then you can further talk about, she expresses the idea that she is not lesser than man in terms of ability or passion or the creativity. She wants to highlight the fact that she is equal. There's no difference between men and women. Men die and women die. She makes a parallelism, nice parallelism at the end of the poem. So the question she raised through the poem is, so why in this society, why the society ignore women? Why they ignore women? So it's not just about her own story. It's every woman in the society. And it's a male-dominated society. So how in this male-dominated society, how she tries to stand against all these things. As I told you at the beginning, through these poems, women poets, they try to develop their ideas. So Kamala Das, she tries to break social norms. Then she tries to achieve love from everybody. She tries to develop a nice idea through the poem. So it's about how women poets manifest their thoughts. As I told you at the beginning, in your introduction, you have to make explain nice introduction talking about the, like, what are the general ideas discussed by the women poets in your collection. We don't have a lot. We have only few women poets, so you can or you can take some other women poets and you can discuss in generally how the women poets discuss the ideas, and what kind of specific characteristics you find in women poets. Then you have to directly target to the question. That is where you have to discuss. You are supposed to discuss. It's just a discussion. Ways in which women poets manifesting, you know what it is, manifesting their thoughts. So what are the thoughts and how they have manifested? So you can take the two women poets, Maya Angelou as a black poet, how she manifests her thoughts, and both were marginalized in the society, and then Kamala Das, how she manifests her thoughts against the Indian cultural structured or stereotypical society. So you are supposed to write 3, then including the conclusion. You can do 4 paragraphs. Conclusion you can make as a summary of your introduction once again, about the mentioning about the women poets and how they have been achieved, or how far they have been successful. So I think those points will be enough to do a nice answer. We'll see you soon with a new question next week. Bye.